so get your the packet that's on your desk already, which is the what color is it? Kind of like a light orange kind of color. So it's already going to be on your desk. To the kids who are on the field trip, I already handed it to you already on Friday. So you should be already having it with you. You should be able to do your work. So those of you who are in class, you guys are going to do the vocabulary part together. All right. You're writing your answers on your paper. Okay, don't write them on the board. You write them on your paper because you're going to turn in the whole entire paper. Right? So you do your vocabulary together. If you want to be nice, and I hope you do want to be nice, you're going to send the answers to the vocabulary to the people that are not in class because they're on that field trip. Okay? All right. We're going to these questions are going to be your exit tickets. Okay? I'm going to tell you which questions you're going to do. All right? And then those are going to be your exit ticket questions. You're going to do all the ones that I circle. You're going to finish it, and then you're going to turn it into that black basket that's right there at the corner of my desk. Okay, you don't turn it in, you're going to end up with a 0 for the day. Those of you who are on the field trip, you're going to turn it in when you come to class, and that will be your grade. Right now it's going to say absent, but when you come back to class, if you don't turn it in, then you're going to get a 0. Okay, the next time I see you is on Thursday. Okay, but if you're in class right now, you have to turn it in at the end of class in order to get a grade. Okay, because when I come back, because after the field trip, I'm going to come to my room and I'm going to collect them all and I'm going to grade them. Okay? All right, so let's go and get your pink packet or your purple packet, whatever color this is for you. And you're going to go all the way to where you see the words parallel parts. Okay? Then we're going to start there. Okay? This right here wants to know the axis of symmetry. Okay? So you're going to highlight the axis of symmetry. The axis of symmetry means the vertical line that cuts parabola in half. And I'm spelling parabola, so hold on. Supposed to be in case, by the way. Parabola in half. Right? So I know it has to be a vertical line. So I'm going to cross out all the ones that have Y because these are horizontal lines. Any of them that start with Y equals are horizontal lines, right? So that means my vertical line will be X equals 2 or X equals 0. So I go to this graph, X equals 2 is right there. X equals 0 is right here. So which one of these two lines cuts the graph in half? X equals 2, okay? Vertical line that cuts it in half. All right, so you're going to do this question. Well, no, because it's not the same. All right, maximum is the middle of top curve. So right here was the top curve. Okay. And if they ask you for minimum, then they're asking you for the middle of, then you have a curve and you would want to give them that bottom curve. Right. So this is a top curve, so I'm going to go up here, and that curve is at 9. So I would just write 9. Remember, when it's an open-ended question, I just want the number. Don't want an ordered pair or nothing. All right. Parabola transformations, okay? You would type in what this gives you here and type in what this is in Desmos and then see what the graph is different, which graph matches which, okay? So we go here, start. So x equals x squared, right? So there it goes. And the other one is h of x equals 2f of x. I'm looking for them to look like this. So let me go to my answers and let's see. They both have to go through the origin, so these are out because they don't go through the origin. All right, these two are identical. What I need to do is I need to figure out which one is supposed to be F. So according to letter G, F is in the inside and H is on the outside. And according to J, H is in the inside and F is on the outside. So we're going to go back to decimals and figure out, well, who is really in the inside? Right. So according to this, the red one is on the outside. The red is F of X. The blue is inside, which is H. So that means F is on the outside and H is in the inside. F on the outside, H in the inside, that means my answer is J. Okay. I'll look at the colors and figure out which one was which. This one, you're going to type it into decimals and you're going to tell me what happened. What happened to G of X, okay? You're going to do exactly what I wrote. You're going to leave F of X in there, but you're going to change the H of X to G of X equals X minus 7.5 squared. Okay? So I'm going to give you a minute to do that because I need you to do that on your own. All right, so the minute's up. So it says G of X equals, let's see what it is, X minus 7.5 squared. Oh, parentheses right here. Thank you for. All right, there we go. So here's my graph. I need to look at the green one and I need to figure out what happened to the green one. So on the red one, it started at the origin, but now it's over here. Okay. So it shifted to the right. Okay. So I need to go and figure out which one of these answer choices says that it shifted to the right. Because that's what I see my picture does. This says shift up and down, so that's out. This one says to the right, and that's the answer that I want. All right, so for these transformations, you're going to be typing them into Desmos and looking at the pictures, being able to describe what you see. Type into Desmos. Okay. Describe what you see. Okay. All right. Actually, before I move on, I want to go back up to the top because I want you to understand that these two problems gave us pictures. If they don't give us pictures, okay, and they only give us the equation, we're going to use Desmos. Give only equation, graph in Desmos. Okay, that's only if they don't give you the graph. Okay, they only give you the equation, and that means you're going to graph it in Desmos and then be able to do all the other stuff. Okay. So we did parabola transformations. Okay, we're still on this one. All right. Okay. This one says function p is in the form of y equals ax squared plus c. The values of a and b are both less than 0. Which graph represents this? Okay. All right. So we're going to use Desmos. And we're just going to choose numbers. So it said the values of a and c are both less than 0. That means that they're negative. So let's go back over here. So y equals ax squared. So we're going to put y equals, and we're going to choose a negative number. So let's just choose -2, right? X, and then squared. And then it says that the c is also supposed to be negative. So then let's choose -5. So here's the picture. Okay. We're not going to look for the identical match, but we're going to look for a picture that's similar to this. That means that it's going down and that is under the origin, because the origin's right here. So I want something that's down here, right? Right. So I'm going to choose the answer choice that has the parabola that's going down, just like this one, and that it's on the negative numbers on the y-axis. So let's look at the pictures. Okay, this one's going down, but it's at the positive. This one's going down and it's on the negative. So I'm thinking that might be my answer, right? So I just want to double check and look at G and H. This one's going up, so that's automatically out. Okay. This one was up, so it's automatically up. This one's going through a positive, so that's why it's out. This one's going through the origin. So both of these look the same, but the top one is going through the negative, and that's kind of more closest to the picture that I chose. Okay. So my answer is H. Okay. So we're still using decimals. We're just going to play with the numbers that they tell us it is, and then look for the one that has the closest match. Right. Okay. Now we go to these. Okay. Right. I'm going to give you a minute, and what I want you to do is I want you to type in the answer choices, okay? And I want you to find one that matches the description. Okay. This description says that it's 18 units below the vertex. Okay. The vertex of the original problem. Okay. Q of X is the second one, and it wants to be underneath 18 units below the vertex of the W, which is the other problem. So you're going to use Desmos, find a match to description. Okay, so I'm going to give you a minute. It's 122. So at 123, I'm going to come back. We'll work it out together on Desmos, and we'll see what y'all came up with. All right, 123. So we're going to type in the first answer choice. So 18x squared, and then W. Right. So it said that it's supposed to be 18 units below the vertex. The vertex is the middle of the curve. So there's the middle of the curve is at 0, 0 for the red one. Okay. That means that the black one needs to be 18 units underneath it. They both at 0, 0. So that means that answer is out. We're going to put a little side note, vertex, middle of curve. Sorry, my handwriting's kind of off right now. I don't know where my pen is. Probably on my desk. All right, so we do that one down. All right, now we're going to go to the next one that says plus 18. So it's the same thing, but has plus 18. So we're going to take that away and put plus 18 on the back. All right. Remember, we want the vertex to be underneath. Okay, we're going to zoom out a little bit because I don't know what happened to it. There it goes. Okay, the red one's still at 0, 0. The description says that the Q is supposed to be 18 units underneath, below the vertex of W. Right now it's above it, so that means that answer is wrong. Okay. Well, it's close though because it says plus, right? And it was above, so that means that the one that says minus should match. So let's try and do the D, because if it's above and I want it to, excuse me, I don't want it to be the same, I want it to be below or above it. Let's try the minus one. And there it goes. The black one is 18 units below the red one. So yeah, that is my answer. All right. Now we're going to do these. These are different ones. Okay. This is when we want to use our table. Okay, this means we're going to be using the TI, which is my yellow calculator. All right. We've used y equals and we used graph, but we have not used the table yet. So this is what we're going to do. Okay. Okay. We're going to type in the equation into y equals. And then we're going to hit the blue, which is second, and graph. We're going to read the problem and figure out what are we looking for. It wants to know how many rows in the auditorium. It has a total of 416. So it's looking for x because x represents the number of rows. All right. So we're going to type in the equation. We're going to hit second graph, and we are going to look for the x value that makes the table 416. X value makes y equal 416. Okay. So I'm going to show you on the calculator. So we're going to go to this one. We're going to go to y equals, and we're going to type in the equation. Make sure that everything's clear out here. And we're going to type in 2x squared. Notice where I hit the squared button at. Minus 6x. Once you're done, you press enter. And you need to make sure that's a minus sign, not a negative. Make sure that you click the minus sign, okay? Because it's the minus. There's something in front of it. We're going to hit the blue button and graph. And we're looking for the x value that's going to make this problem equal 416. So we're just going to scroll down. Why am I scrolling down and not scrolling up? Well, it's a positive 416. Right here on my table, it shows me -4 and -4. I don't want that. When I keep looking at these numbers, the y values are going higher and higher as I get bigger over here. So we're going to keep going until we get to 416. I missed it. Here it is. 416 is when x is equal to 16. That x value is my answer. Okay. So when you're reading these questions, you got to make sure you understand, well, is it my x or my y? Okay. You read the question, you underline what is it looking for, and go back and read the problem and figure out, well, what does the x and the y represent? Okay. That's going to let you know who am I looking for and what value am I looking at. Okay. So I was looking for x, but I was looking at the y value to be 416 so that I can know, hey, that's my answer. Because I want the x value that's going to make it 416. Okay. So I'm going to give you a minute and I'm going to have you do this one. Right? So let's read the question. It wants the value of n. Okay? And we don't have to go back and read the problem because the letter n is the actual variable. We just have to replace that variable with x because the yellow calculator will not use the letter n. It has to use the x. Right? When the sum is 156. So you're going to do the same thing. You're going to type in the equation, but you're going to use x instead of n, and you're going to go to the table. You are looking for the x value. Okay, so you want to find the x value that makes the table get the y side of the table be 156. Okay, so you're trying to find the x, but you're looking at the y's. I want the y to be 156, and whatever that x value is that gets it to be 156 is my answer. All right, so it's 130. I'm going to give you to 131, for you to type that into the calculator and figure out what your answer is. All right, so let's set this to this calculator. So y equals, and it is supposed to be n squared plus x, plus n. So x squared plus x. Second graph, I'm looking for 156. So let's look at the y values. Let's look for 156, and then the x value that gets that to be 156 is my answer. So I'm looking at the blue. Here's 156 on the blue. Okay, so that means x equals 12 is my answer. So you guys should have gotten J. Right? So you're looking at the y values, and then the x value that gets you to what the y value is that you're looking for, then that's my answer. Okay, I don't know, maybe I'm saying it wrong, but here's your x and your y. So you look for 156 because that's my y, and then whatever number's over here is my answer. All right, so that's all the notes we took for today, right? That means next class period, we're gonna finish up this pink or purple packet, depending on what color it is for you. All right, now we're gonna go back to your light orange packet, and I'm gonna circle the questions that I want you to go over. Now, we've already covered domain and range. We covered how to find the solution to this. So you guys are going to do this, all right? Change color. Let me just pause real quick. Someone's at the door. Okay, sorry, somebody was at the door. Okay, so change color. All right, so you're gonna do question number 3, which is what we've been doing. Okay, you make sure that um, f of x is equal to x squared is what you're gonna type in first. Now, how do I know to use f of x equals x squared? Because all the graphs are parabolas. Okay. Right. So because the graphs are parabolas, you're going to use f of x equals x squared. I know to use f of x because the letter that they're using inside of g of x is x. Okay. All right. You're going to do question 4. Okay. Why? Because you're going to type in your equations and you're going to look at the table. Right. Just like how we did it on the last problem, you're going to go to second graph and look at the table, and you're trying to figure out which one of these equations is going to have a table that's close to these numbers. Okay. So use y equals second graph, and you're looking for closest match to table. Right? So yeah, you're gonna have to look, hey, at x equals 5, is which one of these is close to 3? at x equals 10, which was close to 10. You're going to choose the one that's the closest. All right, your next question is going to be question number 5. You're just going to type that into y equals and then graph. You're going to look for which one matches this. Same thing with question number 6. Okay, you're going to use y equals and then graph. And you're going to look to see which one matches the graph of the picture that they gave. All right. You're going to do question number 7. Because it's asking for saying the word transform, so it wants to know what happens. So you're going to graph it and tell me what the description is. Question number 8 we've already done. We already know how to find the solution of something, and equivalent is something we're going to learn and do next class period. So we're going to skip number 9. You guys are going to do number 10. Right? You already know what the x-intercept is, you already know what the y-intercept is, and then you covered that like last week, and then today we went over what the axis of symmetry is, so you should be able to do that. And then question 11 is domain and range, so we covered that last week as well. So you're only reviewing over questions we haven't covered that we just covered today. All right. So again, after you do the vocabulary, it was question 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 10. All right, let's go over those. Make sure we got those questions. It was question 3, 4. Okay, question 3 and 4. Question 5 and 6, 7 and 10. That's 6 questions so far. Okay, 6 questions on this one. All right, you're gonna go to the next page. Oops, didn't mean to have a line right there. Up. Sorry. I zoomed into. This thing has a mind of its own right now. All right, right here, independent practice. This is also, we're going to change the color. We're going to do, I guess, this little purplish red. All right, so we're going to circle which questions we're going to do already here. You did 6 already. You're going to do another one over here. Okay. So on this one, we're going to do number 1 because you're going to type it into, okay, you're going to use y equals, and you're going to graph. You're going to type this and then type in your answer choices and figure out which one of the answer choices matches the description it says up here. 4.5 units to the left. All right. We're not doing question 2 because that's what we're going to talk about next class period. Question number 3 we've already gone over. So you've already gone over how to do domain and range. All right. Question number 4 is what you're going to do. Right. You already know what axis of symmetry is, and you already know the definition of a 0, which is x-intercept. Okay. So you're trying to match the description. There's nothing else for you to do but match the description. Up here, you're going to use y equals, or you can use Desmos. It's up to you. And then graph. Okay. So you can use Desmos if you want. Okay. For any of the ones that have use y equals and graph, you can use Desmos. Okay. You're just typing in the answer choices and looking for which one's going to match that. You're not doing question 6 because we've already covered how to find the solution of something. You're going to do question 7 because we just went over maximum and min. You need to figure out how to figure out what the maximum and the min is. Question number 8, no, because we already talked about solution and that was last class. Okay. I just want you to understand that these just represent x equals and x equals. So instead of saying x equals -5 and x equals -1.5, they put it in the fancy brackets. It's just a shorter way of doing it, okay? That's all it represents, okay? That x equals -5 and x equals -1.5. They just write it in a shorthand way. That's just notes I want you to write. We've already done question 9 already. We've already done domain and range. And you're going to do question 11. Because again, you're going to try to see which one matches the description. Why does that look so familiar? Why does that look like it's already up here? Yeah. Let me look. Yeah, it's identical. Okay, so you're not doing question 11. because it's a duplicate. So let's go over here to question 11, and we're going to cross it out, and we're going to say duplicate. All right. So that was a total of 6 questions from the last 11, and from this one, it was question 1, 4, 5, 7. That's 4 questions. That's a total of 10 questions altogether. Okay, you can work with whoever's at your table, or y'all can go and sit together and work it out, but that's what needs to be turned in. Okay, this light orange packet with these 10 questions solved and your vocabulary, because I'm going to be grading the vocabulary too. And it needs to be turned into that black basket over here on the corner of my desk, right? Those of you who are on the field trip, you will turn it in next class period, okay? So I'm going to give it to you Friday, okay? That means tomorrow, okay? And you're gonna have to turn it in on Thursday, April 26th. 28th. All right? Okay. All right, good luck.